So, a fake job offer on LinkedIn, a phone call from Google support, 10 kilograms of gold bars in a Bangkok airport, and one single mouse click. That cost a man $125 million. Last episode we told you about the people who got rich from crypto, the Dutch family who sold everything and won, the Vietnamese kids who built a billion-dollar game, the Singapore CEO who fought back against the biggest theft in human history. Today, the other side of the coin. Welcome to C Daily Buzz. Remember the Vietnamese gaming company we talked about last episode? Sky Mavis, the team that built Axie Infinity from a tiny Hanoi apartment and turned it into Vietnam's first tech unicorn worth $3 billion. Well, somebody noticed. March 2022. A senior engineer at Sky Mavis in Vietnam gets a LinkedIn message. It's a job offer from a company he's never heard of. But the offer is generous. The interview process is thorough. Multiple rounds, different interviewers, the whole thing. It feels completely legitimate. At the end of it, he receives a PDF, an offer letter. He opens the PDF. That was the moment $625 million started disappearing. The company didn't exist. The interviewers weren't real. The entire multi-stage hiring process was a fabrication, built by the Lazarus Group, North Korea's elite state-sponsored hacking unit, for one purpose: to get that PDF opened. The PDF was loaded with spyware. It gave hackers invisible control over 4 of the 9 Ronin blockchain validators, the digital locks that protect all transactions on Axie's network. Then they needed just one more. They found it through Axie DAO, a 5th validator, and that was enough. 5 out of 9, majority control, unlocked. In a matter of hours, they drained $625 million in Ethereum and USDC. At the time, it was arguably the largest single theft in the history of money, not just crypto, all of human history. And here's the part that should keep you up at night. Nobody noticed for 6 entire days. 6 days. Players were still logging in, still breeding their little cartoon creatures, still trading NFTs. The money was already gone, and nobody had any idea. It was only when one player tried to make a withdrawal, and couldn't, that anyone started asking questions. The FBI confirmed it. North Korea did this. The US Treasury sanctioned the Lazarus Group. Sky Mavis had to raise $150 million in emergency funding from Binance and A16Z just to repay players. A fake LinkedIn message, one PDF, $625 million, 6 days of silence. That's how you rob a country. Now, if the Axie hack was the work of a sophisticated nation-state operation, the next story is its exact opposite. Same scale of money, completely different vibe. Meet Malone Lam, 20 years old, Singaporean, online alias, Anne Hathaway. I know, we'll get there. August 18th, 2024. Lam and his partner, a 21-year-old American named Jean-Diel Serrano, who went by Versace God, called a Bitcoin whale in Washington, D.C. They said they were from Google technical support. His account had been compromised. Very serious. They needed remote access to his computer, just to fix things, you understand. The man believed them. He gave them remote access. They found his private keys. And within hours, 4,100 Bitcoin, worth $230 million, was transferred out of his wallet and into theirs. $230 million from a phone call. Now, most people who just stole $230 million would perhaps lie low. Not Malone Lam. In the 6 weeks that followed, he reportedly bought 31 custom supercars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches. He was allegedly spending $400,000 to $500,000 per night at nightclubs in Miami and Los Angeles. Private jets, luxury watches, designer bags, rented mansions, and, this is the part that is genuinely difficult to believe, he was apparently live streaming the social engineering while it was happening, to friends, online, in real time. He was arrested in Miami 6 weeks after the theft. The charges? The first ever Bitcoin RICO case in US history, at 20 years old. And the username Anne Hathaway? Apparently just a random alias he picked. The actress has absolutely no connection to any of this and is presumably thrilled her name is now associated with a $230 million crypto heist. Oh, and at least $100 million is reportedly still unaccounted for. His trial is set for 2026. His Wikipedia page, however, is already live. 31 supercars, $500,000 a night. RICO charges before you can legally rent a car in America. To be clear, this is allegedly, all of it. But if even half of it is true, the audacity is genuinely something. Okay, so far we've had nation-state hackers and a 20-year-old with 31 sports cars. Our next story takes a different approach to the problem of, I have too much stolen crypto and I need to hide it. Gold bars. In August 2025, Thai police arrested a 33-year-old South Korean man named Han at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport. He was walking through the terminal, casually, with an active arrest warrant that had been sitting there for months. Han allegedly oversaw a network that converted $50 million worth of stolen cryptocurrency, proceeds from call center scams, into physical gold bars. Just between January and March of 2024, his accounts processed 47.3 million USDT. Each laundering round involved more than 10 kilograms of gold, roughly $1 million per transaction. The gold was then physically shipped back to criminal syndicates in South Korea. Think about that for a second. We live in an era of instant digital transfers, blockchain anonymity tools, decentralized mixers, and this guy's plan was to melt stolen crypto into gold bricks, wrap them up, and put them on a cargo plane, like it's the 14th century. The operation wasn't small. The network stretched across multiple countries, with brokers in Thailand buying gold from local dealers, packaging it, and arranging international shipments back to Korea. Each round was carefully structured to stay just under detection thresholds. At least 10 kilograms per batch, heavy enough to need a truck, light enough to not trigger customs alarms. The original victims? People hired for fake social media jobs. They were promised 30 to 50% returns until their larger deposits were taken. Most never saw their money again. 10 other suspects had already been arrested by the time Han was caught. And Han, the man running the entire gold conversion pipeline, was just strolling through Bangkok for months, eating street food presumably, living his life, with an active arrest warrant hanging over his head the entire time. They caught him at Suvarnabhumi airport, just walking through the terminal like a tourist. Crypto, to gold, to cargo shipments, to South Korean crime syndicates. Sometimes the most sophisticated money laundering scheme is just heavy. And now, the one that I think is the most chilling. Because unlike a state-sponsored hack targeting a billion-dollar company or a con man who needed to impersonate Google support, this one required almost nothing, just a link. According to statistics released by Singapore police in February 2025, a 36-year-old man in Singapore lost $125 million in cryptocurrency after clicking a fake interview meeting link. That's it. That's the whole method. The scammer posed as a potential employer, sent a meeting link. When the man clicked to join the call, he was prompted to run a script on his laptop. Standard sounding, like a technical setup step. He ran it. The script was malicious code targeting his crypto wallet. By the time he noticed unauthorized transactions, the money was gone. $125 million from one link. This was Singapore's single largest crypto scam loss in all of 2024. And Singapore, let's be clear, is not some unregulated frontier. This is one of the most financially sophisticated nations on Earth, one of the strictest regulatory environments in Asia, and someone still lost $125 million because they clicked a link. In that same year, crypto losses made up 24.3% of Singapore's total scam losses, $1.1 billion across all categories. That's up from just 6.8% the year before. The numbers are not just growing, they're accelerating. Another victim that year lost $33.8 million by clicking a phishing ad inside a legitimate crypto wallet app. Not a shady site, not a dark web marketplace, inside the real app. Go back through what we covered today. One PDF, one phone call, one cargo shipment, one click. Every single disaster in this episode started with something small, something that looked normal, something that any one of us might have done on a Tuesday morning without thinking twice. The crypto is new, but the trick is as old as it gets. Make someone trust you just for 1 second, and that second is all you need. Last episode, they bet everything and won. A family sold their house. A team of students built a billion-dollar company from nothing. A CEO kept 60 million customers' money safe in the middle of the biggest heist in history. This episode, one click, one file, one call, and it was all gone. The technology changes, the stakes keep going up, but the human moment, that single second of misplaced trust, that never changes. We drop new episodes every week. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe and drop a like. It helps more than you think. Stay sharp out there, and we'll see you next time on C Daily Buzz.